Every time you date without deal breakers, you're risking your future. This is dating advice most women were never taught. One wrong man can take your best years, your self-confidence, and even your self-worth. And here's the twist. You don't lose years because you were too picky. You lose them because you weren't picky enough. The lie you were told is that standards push men away. The truth? They expose the ones who were never qualified in the first place. Lowering your standards doesn't buy you love, it rents you pain. I'm Soke. I built evidence-based thinking EBT first to protect my daughters, then to protect hundreds of women, and now to protect women like you. In this video, I'll show you how the must-haves and deal breakers stop you from wasting years. Years you can't get back. Because without them, you don't just risk a bad date. You risk your future, you risk your confidence, and you're risking yourself. So let's see how this plays out when those standards are not set. Do you know what happens when your must-haves and deal breakers are not set? You start negotiating with yourself. You meet someone interesting, fun, he makes you laugh. The two of you have so much in common, and little by little, you start bending your own rules. He tells you he'll call you tonight, and you're waiting for his call. And then, nothing. No call, no text. The next day, he greets you like nothing happened. You ask him, what happened to the call? He says, I'm sorry, I was tired. I fell asleep. And you let it go because you like him, because you didn't want to be a nag, because you'd rather avoid confrontation than risk pushing him away. But here's the truth. A man who cannot follow through on a simple phone call won't suddenly follow through on the big commitments. Because there were no standards set, you begin shrinking yourself for a man. Again. So let me ask you, and be honest, what would you do in that moment? Would you call it out or let it slide just so you don't scare him off? Drop your answers in the comments below. I want to see how you would handle it. This is where the first self-abandonment starts. With the first, just let it go. The reason why you and many other women get stuck and repeat these cycles is because you never set in stone what you refuse to bend on. Must-haves are not cute extras. They are your guardrails and a part of a dating toolkit every woman needs. And deal breakers, those are the cliffs. You don't debate cliffs. You don't jump and hope. You stop before you fall. Tool number 1, write your must-haves and deal breakers down. The best time to write your must-haves and deal breakers is when you're not seeing anyone. But even if you are, you can still start today, because once you're in it, your emotions will argue with your evidence. And emotions usually win. Example must-haves are consistency, honesty, emotional steadiness. Example deal breakers are lying, manipulation, and lack of accountability. Once you like someone, it's easy to bend your own rules to keep him. This line reminds you your standards aren't about him. Just say, I set my standards before I met him, not because of him. Here's the real purpose of your list. It's not just to protect you from him. It's to protect you from yourself. So you don't make decisions while you're emotionally intoxicated. EBT teaches, emotions argue with your evidence. And if you don't have your standards written down, your emotions usually win. If you've ever felt like you wasted years on the wrong person, download my free book, Stop Guessing in Dating. Link is in the description below. It's part of the toolkit that shows you how to stop guessing and start deciding. The first 100 downloads are free. After that, it becomes a paid product. Tool number 2, apply the 4 to 5 repetition rule. One nice gesture doesn't equal consistency. Anybody can do something once. Flowers once, a sweet text once, a date once. Real is repeated behavior over time. The first time felt good. By the fourth time is when you can start to believe it. That's the difference between an early sign and actual evidence. Consistency is not what he says, it's what he repeats. That's how you separate promises from real commitment. EBT teaches one action is just an event. 4 or 5 repetitions form a pattern. That's when it becomes evidence. Tool number 3, the single strike rule for deal breakers. Must-haves need proof over time, but deal breakers, one and done. If a man crosses a deal breaker you set, that's all the evidence you need. Lying, cheating, or whatever's on your list. Every woman who gave a second chance wished they hadn't. You don't wait on a deal breaker, you walk. One strike on a deal breaker is not a warning, it's the end. Don't get caught up on what comes out of his mouth. Check if they're consistent with his actions. Or does he just talk a good game? Evidence isn't in his excuses, it's in his actions over time. Time exposes truth. Talk delays it from being seen. This story comes from one of my clients' notes, but her name has been changed for privacy. We'll call her Shania. Shania dated a man for 2 years. She wanted marriage, children, and a life together. He wanted more time. Every few months, he dangled the promise. Someday. She believed him because he treated her well enough. He had a steady job, and every time she doubted, he said just enough to calm her down. But here's the part that mattered most. Shania already had her list, her must-haves and deal breakers. She just wasn't using it. That's all. Her must-have was follow-through. Her deal breaker was lying. And he had already lied twice about where he was on weekends. Both times, she let it slide. She had the evidence right in front of her, but she was ignoring it. And that's the danger of the list. It won't protect you if you don't enforce it. It's not just about protecting you from him. It's about protecting you from yourself, from making another decision while you're emotionally intoxicated. When we walked back through her list together, it was obvious. Her must-haves wasn't being met, and her deal breaker already been crossed. Once she faced that evidence, she couldn't unsee it. She ended it. A year later, Shania was with someone new, consistent, honest, and present. And this is where you come in. Shania's breakthrough wasn't luck. It was a decision. She used her list. Now it's your turn. Write your must-haves, write your deal breakers, and enforce them, because the list won't change your life until you do. I know the moment you start thinking about your own list, questions will come up. So let's tackle the ones I hear the most. Question 1. What if my list feels too long? Start with 10 must-haves and 10 deal breakers. Then cut it down. Keep the ones that protect you. Throw the ones out that are only your preferences. Question 2. What if he slips once? Do I drop him immediately? If it's a must-have, one slip is just the first sign. Wait for 3 or 4 reps to know if it's real or not. But if it's a deal breaker, lying, cheating, or whatever you set, one time is enough. That's your evidence. That's when you walk. Question 3. What if he says he'll change? Then let him prove it. Because promises are not evidence. Demonstration is. EBT teaches promises are not evidence. We don't measure promises. We measure consistency. Words predict nothing. Repetition of actions is the only evidence you can trust. Question 4. What if I'm scared I'll miss out if I walk away? Remember, this isn't about what if. It's about what is. In evidence-based thinking, we don't concern ourselves with what ifs because they're not tangible. They're guesses, and you can't build your future on guesses. We focus on what is. What is he showing you right now? Because that's real. And when what is does not meet your standards, you're not missing out on anything. You're saving yourself from settling. You were not taught how to set standards before dating. You were taught to hope, to wait, and to be quiet. But that's where this coaching changes everything. It's where we write down your must-haves, test behaviors against them, and enforce your deal breakers like a sword. Because without this, you risk making decisions about who you're going to give your heart to based on feelings and guesses. With it, you protect your time, your confidence, and your future. And you step forward knowing you'll never lower your standards again. If you're ready to do the work, click the link below and book your session today. To the daughters, no man can waste your years without your permission. He only takes what you're giving. And the reason you keep giving is simple. You never set in stone what you refuse to bend on. So every time your heart gets emotionally intoxicated, your standards are ignored and your deal breakers disappear. Understand this, the list was never about protecting you from him. It was always about protecting you from yourself. Because once you have your must-haves written, you don't have to guess anymore. And once your deal breakers are clear, you don't have to argue with your feelings anymore. This is your power, your choice, your future. When you hold your standards, you hold yourself. When you break them, you break yourself. So stand on what you have written. Don't negotiate it. Don't explain it. Live by it. The right man won't fear your standards. He'll prove himself worthy because of them. And the wrong man won't survive them. To the daughters, the decision is yours, and the power has been yours all along. Your standards don't scare good men. They eliminate the wrong ones. Let the evidence lead the way. Click here for the next video.